everyone, it's D-Man number 5, and in occasion to the release of No Way Home coming out soon, I have decided to watch all the Spider-Man movies in order, all the way from Raimi to Webb to the Venom movies, then to the Holland movies, and then, since there was new Into the Spider-Verse trailer, into Spider-Verse. Hey guys, it's D-Man number 5, and today, we're in the home stretch. This is a very special video, because today I am not only reviewing the 2 Tom Holland movies, I am reviewing Spider-Verse in the same video. I'm going to go into what I think of them, what I like, what I don't like, what I hope to see, and I will also be talking about this week's episode of Hawkeye. Let's begin. Homecoming is what I like to consider the Seinfeld of the Marvel movies. Nothing really happens in it, but it's gotta be a good, one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. And Holland in this movie is really good. Everyone else does a great job. Stark, when I was rewatching this, I never felt more sad in my entire life because I miss Robert Downey Jr. so much as Tony Stark. And whenever he entered the movie, it felt like an actual serious thing was happening. So, one thing is that I noticed that there is a flaw with Parker in this movie, is that he doesn't have angst. Parker needs angst to, show that he's being Spider-Man for a reason. Now, I get it, showing the Uncle Ben death, that's been done to death, but when we later get into Spider-Verse, we will see why that's a kind of a better movie. So what I saw out of this movie was that he's doing this just to impress Stark. Why? I get, he wants to be an Avenger, but, that shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be the reason why he's doing everything. Because that's just a little bit, I wouldn't say selfish, but, not what Spider-Man stands for. Hang on. But that's just my little gripe. Everything about the movie is awesome. The effects are awesome. The acting it's the typical Marvel writing, and I love it so much. If there's one character that always needed good writing, it was the Spider-Man movies. And these movies by far have done a pretty good job at writing good dialogue and good characters. Holland's Parker, yes, in high school, but placed the part well, and he was 21 when he made this movie. To this day, he still looks like he's a 12-year-old, which I don't know how they'll do in No Way Home, because they say that he'll be in college in No Way Home. Michael Keaton steals the movie whenever he's on screen. In the beginning, he does a great job at seeming like a blue-collared type of guy, and then he's really threatening when he's the Vulture. And then, the effects on the Vulture suit are so cool. I kind of like that it's a mix between Air Force and almost a little bit of Iron Man, because his helmet is a mix of it. And whenever he's flying or shit, you feel the weight when he's hovering. He's hovering above you. It's creepy. The eyes are creepy as hell. And this, I do have to point this out, whenever Keaton and Holland were doing a scene together, Keaton would come up very close and say, "I'm Batman," because Keaton played Batman back in the 80s and 90s. But everyone's great in this movie. RDJ, the time he had with these movies, still put in a great performance. I love him every time he's on screen in this movie. Everyone's great. I don't have that much to say about Homecoming. It's a good Spider-Man movie. It's a good MCU movie. I just don't have that much to say except like what has been said already. Like what hasn't been said already. Like I do have gripes with it, but I don't have that like it's not like Spider-Man 3 gripes or Venom gripes. It's just like we do need to hear the Uncle Ben. We do need to hear why he's doing this. That's it. The only thing he needs is angst. Now moving on to Spider-Man Far From Home. The way it started out, I was totally in the entire way. Like Peter's dealing with being Spider-Man after the blip and everything, and people are asking questions like if he'll be the next Iron Man or if he'll be the next leader of the Avengers. And I like to no, not again. What I like to say is that the Spider-Man movies in the MCU are kind of like the ground, like on the ground level type movies, like stuff that the Avengers, like the aftermath of what the Avengers do. Because in Homecoming, I forgot to mention, in Homecoming, I love how they bring all the old tech from the Avengers battles and whatever and make weapons out of it, because that's really cool. And in this one, it's after the blip, and we're seeing the aftermath, and like there was even a question like, are the Avengers still a thing anymore? And people were wondering like, yeah, are the Avengers still a thing? And I do kind of like that. Peter is kind of dealing with this. He's kind of got an Iron Man 3 going with him. Like he's dealing with the huge battle that happened, and I kind of wanted him to like have a little bit of PTSD, like during that scene when like Thanos was raining fire in Endgame and Peter was like caught in the middle. I kind of wanted to see flashbacks of that, of him like just having trauma. And then you have the Tony Stark spray paint and memorials all over the place, like looming over him. And to me, that's kind of where Stark became the mentor, or like the reason why. That was kind of a little bit of the angst that Peter got. Like he's lost Stark and he's got to keep going though. And they kind of made Stark like the mentor, like the Uncle Ben figure. And I like that, cuz that kind of works. Jake Gyllenhaal in Far From Home is a mixed bag for me. Because on one point, he's half Willem Dafoe. On the other half, he's like a poor man's version of Tobey Maguire. But yeah, and also, to be honest, put this in the comments. When you were watching the trailers for Far From Home, did you really think that he was the good guy? Because I knew during the entire movie that he's the bad guy. And I do like how they do his illusions. And it's all holograms and stuff. I'm like, okay, holograms, that's cool. And it's like motion capture. Like every scene's gotta be perfect, every little detail's gotta be perfect, it's gotta be seamless. That's kind of like a meta funny type thing. And my favorite scene in this movie is the fucking trip out scene. If there's one thing that I love about weird villains, it's how you can do the weird stuff with them. Like how you can use like their weird powers and stuff and make like this distorted imagery, just show the weirdest stuff. I'm a sucker for that stuff. And that whole scene alone, those illusions and everything, all the statues and everything, and like zombie Iron Man, everything just like freaking out Parker. I loved that so much, and I wish we got more of that. And we kind of did in the final battle, but like not that much. And another thing is that this was, I'm forgetting to mention, Samuel, this was when Nick Fury first met Parker. Later to be revealed, they were Skrulls. I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of the Skrulls right now. They're not really doing that much for me. They just show up and it's like, Oh, that's why you're acting weird. You were a Skrull. Okay, cool. But yeah, even when watching this movie, I'm like, yeah, Nick Fury's kind of a dick right now. Like, even then, he wasn't this, like, pissy. But then, like, when I see what's happening, I was like, oh, yeah, because the Skrulls don't know how to, like, act proper. Don't know how to, like, interpret us properly. Okay. But, yeah, and I was kind of sad because I was like, even though Samuel L. Jackson did get to work with Holland, I did want Nick Fury to actually work with Spider-Man. Uh... And let's go into the ending. MJ knowing that Parker was Spider-Man, fine. I don't really care. Because, like, it would make sense that she would know. And Parker gained the Edith glasses. Those are cool, but I'm trying to figure out how they'll bring that into No Way Home. Because if they get used there, they just gonna say, what about the Edith glasses? Oh, those got confiscated. The whole MacGuffin of the last movie got confiscated. Okay. That's my theory, and that's what I think is going to happen. Now let's go into the ending of this movie. Mysterio is dead, or is killed off. I don't think he's dead. I think he's actually alive. And then, at the end, it is revealed that Peter Parker's identity is revealed. And to be honest, there's some things that you don't see that much different in Spider-Man movies. This was different. I like that. And it's still, to this day, making me guessing, like, hours before, no, like, 12 hours before, or, like, fucking 15 hours before I see No Way Home. I'm still wondering, how are they gonna deal with his identity being revealed? Like, that's just crazy. And, like, that's never been done before. Like, we kind of did see that in Iron Man 1, like, that was played off as, like, a no big deal. But like, yeah, and we're used to, like, all the Avengers, like, having their identity revealed because they don't really care. But this is Spider-Man, a guy whose identity is meant to be secret, and he's revealed. And J. Jonah Jameson and J.K. Simmons comes back. Oh, yeah, this movie gets 1 point because it's got J.K. Simmons in it. You're saved. You're saved. Yeah, so I like Far From Home. Mainly because of the ending. But, yeah. Now, moving on into Spider-Verse. What can I say that hasn't been said about this movie? It is so good. So good. I love the web-swinging shit out of this movie. I love it so goddamn much. I rewatched it again and again twice. Because I was like, man, that was so good. I gotta watch it again. Like, oh my god. The sequel, I cannot wait for. This movie I watched again. The soundtrack is amazing. The actors, the voice actors are amazing. The action is amazing. The story is amazing. The fucking animation is amazing. This movie is hands down the best Spider-Man movie ever. And it does everything that a Spider-Man movie should do. Introduce a Spider-Man. Have angst. Have a great character. Have fucking weird stuff just happen. Have a lot of villains. Cool villains. Have Kingpin is in this movie, and he's just Kingpin, and I love it. We have a female Doc Ock who's actually threatening. I love female Doc Ock. That's awesome. And to be honest, I'm not a big Miles Morales fan. I wasn't when I saw the trailer for this, because when I saw the teaser for this, I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. Then when I saw the second trailer, I was like, this doesn't look good. Then when I watch the movie, I love it when a movie does this. I love it when I watch a Marvel movie or any superhero movie, I'm thinking this is going to be crap, and it makes me love the movie. That just wins me over, man. That wins me over. That's why I like Shang-Chi and not Eternals, because even though Eternals is seen as the big movie, it sucked. You can check out my review about it. And what can I say about this movie? It's so good. So good, I download the soundtrack to it. I listen to Sunflower every day. I'm just like, good times. And I love like the little introductions with everyone. I love that. I love that while they're comparing their origins, it's all the same. And even when like there's like for me, they're like explaining like what got them into being like to what made them stay Spider-Man or Spider-Woman or Spider-Bot or Spider-Ham was it was my uncle. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool. And I also like I can't believe I'm saying this, but in this movie, we finally got a Spider-Man! A Spider-Man! In all these other reboots, it's been Spider-Boy, Spider-College... No, Spider-Boy, Spider-Teenager, Spider-College Boy. It has never been Spider-Man dealing with, like, adult problems. And Peter B. Parker's just gotten Spider-Man 2'd. Like, he lost MJ, he lost Aunt May, he lost his fucking, like, relationship. He lost his restaurant. I love this. I love the restaurant TGI Spidey's. That's so funny to me. He got hit in the face with a drone. He's schlubby, and he is just all around a wreck. And I love it. The reason why he left MJ, perfect. She wanted to have kids. It scared him. Wanna know why? Because he's Spider-Man. If he is Spider-Man while he's having kids, he's afraid they'll get hurt. That's beautiful. I love that. Okay. Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man in this movie, and I love it. If you know another... Okay. If you have Nicolas Cage in your movie, and he's a superhero, or if you just have him in it, and he's just weird, you get 1 point. This movie's so... He plays a World War II Spider-Man detective noir. No, noir detective Spider-Man. And fights Nazis. And is... Oh, he's so good. I want to see a spin-off movie of every single character. I want to see a spin-off of Spider-Ham, Spider-Noir, Penny Parker, Spider-Gwen, Peter B. Parker. Like... Oh, this movie's so good. The animation is so good. And it, like, the final battle is amazing. It's just a bunch of, like, portals opening with multiple dimensions crossing together. And people are just swinging around fighting each other. It's so good. I love this movie. And, holy shit. It's a different Spider-Man. It's not even focusing on Peter Parker. Hell, they kill off the Peter Parker and Miles' universe in the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie. No, not even, like, first 25. And Miles is the main character, and I love Miles! I love Miles in this movie. He's so good. I love his powers. I love his invisibility. I love his electric, like, powers. And, you know, being Spider-Man. And the famous quote, the shoulder touch. Hey. Oh, so good. I love Spider-Man too. I love it so much. I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait for No Way Home. I can't wait to review it. And yeah, that's been it. That's it for the Spider-Man reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching all these. And I'm sorry that I didn't go into much further reviews. Even when I upload these videos, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this. I should really write these down. I promise next time I'll go into more thorough reviews. I promise. Now moving on to Hawkeye. You know, we all called it, but I didn't think we'd be right. This episode was so bland. It was okay. Until that ending. Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin from the Netflix Marvel shows, is officially MCU canon. Which means, not only is he canon, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is canon. Which could mean that Charlie Cox could be in Spider-Man No Way Home as Spider-Man's lawyer. And I loved Hawkeye all the way through. No argument. I love Hawkeye. I love this show. I love the character. But even I was just like, just show Kingpin already. And when they did, and he was like, he's the guy I was worried about. It was like, wait, who is he? He's like, that's Kingpin. And, okay, I don't know how to say this, but hearing an MCU, it's kind of like the No Way Home effect. It's like seeing it's seeing Alfred Molina interact with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's that big. It's that weirdness that I love. It's that amazing interaction of knowing. And it's like, oh my god, he said Kingpin. A main MCU character said Kingpin. That's Kingpin. That's amazing. I love Hawkeye. I love this show so much. And what else can I say? I will be reviewing the finale next week. And yeah, that's it. That's it for my... Oh, also, Yelena Belova makes some good ass Kraft mac and cheese. And to be honest, the D-Man knows how to make some good mac and cheese. So, Yelena, you ever want to get dinner sometime, baby, just hit me up. I'll make us some mac and cheese. I'll get the hot sauce in there. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. All right. This is D-Man number 5. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Just tell your friends that you love them. And stay awesome, everyone. And good luck trying to avoid spoilers. Stay awesome.